Monday night, and this is the conclusion, the final game of week one college football. It's been a hell of a weekend. I'm so happy it's back. I'm not happy how I did betting wise. I know I struggled. I think, Ethan, you struggled a little bit. I made the mistake, and I make this mistake every single year of getting way too giddy. And I started week 0 off hot. I started Thursday night hot, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and hopefully not today, but it probably will be today, has just gone so bad. So again, excited for football is back, but I am really struggling in the betting action. But me and Ethan are going to break down this TCU UNC game, give you our predictions and our best bets for this game. The big news of the game, this is Bill Belichick, the head coach of North Carolina, making his 2025 college football debut. I'm sure he's at one point coached in college. I actually haven't really looked at his track record. He's probably had some college coaching positions. I don't know if he's ever been a head coach in college, but again, he's been an NFL guy for 30-something years, probably even longer, 40-something years, now going back to college. So that is the big story tonight. We do have, in my opinion, fishy money coming in on this game. So I'm not quite sure why it's coming in on this team. I'm hoping that you can help me out, Ethan, and people in the comments can help me out as well, as to just diving into this game and figuring out what the heck is going on. We do have NFL starting on Thursday. We do have college football week 2 starting on Friday. So we are just getting into the nitty and the gritty of it all. Make sure you do follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. It helps us continue doing this. And again, we will have our NFL videos starting back up on Thursday. So every single game preview we will cover. So make sure you do follow along. And we don't just cover football. We cover MMA, baseball. I know we have multiple articles of the EPL league and soccer out there. We cover everything. So not just a football podcast, but I think our hearts are all on the gridiron here. But Ethan, welcome. How are you feeling about TCU North Carolina? And how did your week 1 college betting go?
Yeah, not as I had hoped it was going to go. Started off with a nice winner on Friday night with Georgia Tech against Colorado. Was like, here we go. Keeping it nice, low volume, just going to stack, 3-4 wins, move on to week 2, and basically lost everything on Saturday. I did win on the under Ohio State, Texas, but after that, lost everything. I jumped into EPL this week because my leans weeks 1 and 2 were really good. Naturally, I lose both. Bet on the MLS, lost 3 races yesterday, lost all 3 of them. So it's just one of those weekends where the damage overall was bad, but sport by sport, it's really, I'm not in a massive hole right now for college football. I think I'm down like 1.5 units. So I guess that's kind of the silver lining of the whole thing, but just not a great weekend. Just was one of those. I was telling you before the show started, I hit the Mets earlier today, which I just really needed for the confidence. Needed to see one go through. So happy to get that one. But yeah, as far as this game goes, have a play on it. It was actually my first locked in bet for the college football season. So do I feel confident? I guess not necessarily, but needed to hit. We needed this one to hit. So.
We do need this one to hit. I have a feeling me and you are on the same exact side. Is it TCU perchance?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I am in the same exact boat, and I'm honestly seeing this one very similar to that Utah-UCLA game, where I actually made that a 5-unit. That was a desperation Saturday night play, and thankfully it won. Utah won that game 42-0, blew them out of the water. That game was over from the start, 21-0 to start, and then there was a touchdown in the first half from UCLA, but it was never close, and Utah just completely dominated. I'm seeing that game the same exact way, and TCU reloaded everywhere. They have a fantastic quarterback in Josh Hoover. He broke the school record last year in passing yards with 3,949. He had 27 touchdowns, 11 picks. This guy can sling the ball. I didn't have the exact total of games over 300 passing yards, but I think it's close to 6, maybe 5, 6 out of the 11, 12 games. He had over 300 passing yards. This guy can sling it, and TCU has reloaded, also with a fantastic defense. And then I think your biggest lean or reasoning for backing TCU is just the fade on Bill Belichick. And I completely agree with that as well. I think he's really going to struggle on the college level. I think he is the definition of an NFL coach. I don't think he's a player coach. I think he's a system coach, and it works great in the NFL because if you have a problem with a guy, you just cut him. But you have to form these relationships in college. You have to recruit these guys. You have to build their trust with a bunch of 17, 18-year-olds. And I just don't know if that's kind of his coaching repertoire. And again, I don't know. How old is this guy? Is he 70? I mean, he's up there in age. So I just don't quite understand the move to college. I don't think it's going to last long. I just think we're having a situation like a Brett Favre, like a Tom Brady, like an Aaron Rodgers, where they just can't give up the game. And I get it, but I just really struggle with UNC and Bill Belichick having success, especially tonight against a TCU team that just absolutely reloaded. Offensively, they're going to be completely fine. Defensively, they're stellar. And I think I read something that UNC has 80 new players or lost. I don't know. They have a whole new roster. That's what happens with a coaching change. You get transfers, you get new recruits, you get flips, all that kind of stuff. The only problem I'm having here is it kind of seems like the sharps and the money is coming in on North Carolina, and I'm seeing trusted followers and betters taking North Carolina. So that's the problem I'm having. Like, what are they seeing in North Carolina that I'm not? I am interested in North Carolina's new quarterback, Gio Lopez. He is a Southern Alabama transfer. Love this guy. He dynamic quarterback. He had 2,500 passing yards at USA. He had 18 passing touchdowns with only 5 picks. He had 465 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. I think he's going to be a great player. I'm really excited to see how Gio Lopez does, but I just don't think he's going to be enough to push North Carolina over the edge here and get the win. So, are you seeing a similar story with the money and the sharps and trusted betters backing UNC? Like, what am I missing here? What's the reasoning for that?
Yeah, I've seen the same thing. So yeah, I locked in TCU money line. I think it was last Thursday, maybe even Wednesday. But every book out there is giving out a boost, so I got it boosted to minus 107. So pretty nice line on the money line. But yeah, I thought that North Carolina would be extremely public, like 75, 80%. I'm seeing it pretty much straight down the middle. Like you said, I'm hearing of people backing the Tar Heels as well. Some of the sharper and professional betters. My only thought could be, to me, I know you mentioned it sounds kind of, or it's similar to the Utah game, which I hope you're right. To me, it's almost a little bit like Miami Notre Dame, where I think a lot of people thought Notre Dame would go in there and win that game, and it just didn't happen. Miami looked actually pretty damn good. But yeah, I still like TCU on the money line. I do think a lot of people taking UNC are taking the points, so thinking it's going to be a field goal game, which I could live with on the money line there. So yeah, I don't know. I hope it's a blowout like Utah was. Another reason, not only on the fade Belichick train, like you mentioned, a whole new team there at North Carolina. Also, just don't like for Bill Belichick. I know we joke about his young girlfriend, but it's just weird. I mean, to be out of football for a couple of years and then basically be living this brand new life, and then to come back and coach college, like you said, he's not really a player's coach. I feel like he's going to struggle to maybe build relationships with these players. And I think the entire reason he even took the job was to set his son up with a successful future, who I believe he's their DC, Stephen Belichick. So, yeah, he's going to be there for a year or two, and then he's actually going to be done. I just looked it up. He's 73 years old. So, yeah, if they're even decent this year, I think it's going to take some time to kind of get the college game under his belt, kind of let that gel. But on the TCU side, Sonny Dykes already has the coaching experience against the hot new, hyped up head coach in Deion Sanders. I think you did a solo video today, mentioned that TCU was a 21-point favorite in that game, lost outright to Deion. I think Dykes can use that to his advantage. Look, hey, it's a very similar situation. We're somehow getting these guys on the schedule for their first coaching gig, and let's not let that happen again. So I think that will play into effect, I think that does help TCU in this game. Obviously, the team is a lot different. I believe that was 2 years ago, or maybe 3 now. So a lot of different players on the team, but Sonny Dykes has been the head coach there. So, yeah, I still like TCU on the money line. I'd probably be confident in it if the weekend wasn't so bad. But yeah, that's still my play. I still feel pretty good about it. Yeah, I could see like a 23-20 TCU victory. But I hope we're closer to that Utah 40-something to 7 or whatever that final was. I didn't even stay up, so I was so pissed about how Saturday went.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Dion, because I was going to as well. It's the same exact situation. They got absolutely embarrassed, and looking back, I'm like, oh god, it was so obvious to take Dion to win that game outright. 21-point dog. I don't even know what that money line was. Something absolutely beautiful when you win it. But yeah, I mean, that was 2 years ago, 2023. So this definitely resonates. There's definitely players on this roster that experienced that embarrassing loss. I was also following the national championship run as well. So biggest blowout in national championship history. Go into week 1 against Dion and get absolutely embarrassed. Those guys are pissed. The coach is pissed. I completely agree with you there. Do you want to touch on 2 other points? The kind of similar coaching situation we have here, besides the age gap, but I see this very similar to Urban Meyer leaving Ohio State, going to Jacksonville. Kind of the same thing with the young new. Well, I guess it was never a girlfriend. I think he was married or maybe divorced now. But that whole bar thing and grabbing that girl's ass, and really young as well. And then how many games did he last at Jacksonville? 4 before he got canned. I mean, I can see the same exact situation. We are, there's a difference in about 30 years of age, but it seems very similar. I mean, just brand new life, thinking this is going to be a different opportunity. I think it's going to be the same old, same old. And I don't even know if he makes it to the end of the year, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's very similar. I'm also seeing another point I want to touch on, seeing some sharper action on the under. And to me, this seems like a dead nuts over game. I can see TCU absolutely exploding. Gio Lopez from North Carolina is a big playmaker. I can see this game having multiple long scoring touchdowns, big plays. So the thing that kind of makes me like TCU more is if the sharps are all over the under here. And this line has dropped, I think, 3 points since I think it was 57.5 at the open. I think it's 54.5 right now. My only thing is that it's going to be a blowout, like that Utah game that ended 42-10. That hit 52 points. The over under here is 54.5. Like, I think TCU is going to absolutely wipe the floor with them. So yeah, I've already locked in some bets. I won a home run prop today, so I have a little bit more money that I'm going to, I think, double down on TCU here. I do have TCU money line. I do have TCU minus 6.5. I have TCU minus 13.5. I think I'm going to tease them all the way up to 3 touchdowns, if not 24 touchdowns here, or 24 points. That'll be a lot of touchdowns. Wow. I seriously think TCU wipes the absolute floor with them here. I can't see a world where North Carolina is losing or is winning this game. I also couldn't see a world where LSU was going to win. I found it difficult to back freshman quarterback in Ohio State. I found it difficult to back Carson Beck in Miami, and I went 0-3 in those games. So what I think should happen is not happening, but I really think this is just a big mismatch, and I just think it's an identical game to that Utah one. So I do think TCU wipes the floor, and it's going to be all TCU for me, unfortunately, and I hate it, but I think that's what I got to rock with.
I like it. I'll be right there with you. I won't go as high as the 24.5, but yeah, I'm taking that money line for sure. Well, I've already taken the money line, so that'll probably be my only play in that game. But yeah, if it was like, dude, if we could get like a 31 rip at halftime, just have a no sweat, I could enjoy myself watching the second half of a football game, which is pretty rare nowadays. That'd be fun. Also, I just have to bring up because you reminded me when Urban Meyer kicked his kicker.
Yeah,
caught himself a lawsuit over that. Oh man, what a
it just seems like such a similar situation. I mean, Urban is not an NFL coach. Like, he just couldn't do it. Bill is not a college coach. I just don't think he has the personality. I don't think he has. I don't know. Like, you have to be such a player's coach in college. And Bill Belichick, we all know he's a wall. Like, you're talking to a brick wall. Yes, he is probably the best football mind in the last probably maybe of all time, but in the last 50 years, he's 40, 30 years. He has been an absolute mastermind in football, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But it's just not adding up to me for him at UNC and having success. So I do agree. I do think him continuing to give his son coaching jobs because no one else will hire him is a good little platform for him to continue his coaching career. His son, Steve, the tongue guy. But
Did
go
you
ahead.
see what Bill said about? Well, basically, he was asked, I think, like, how's your team going to perform on Monday night or something like that, and he basically was like, "Oh, that's up to them. They're the ones playing, so it's all on them." Basically, is what he said. And classic Belichick, but also just like, yeah, not maybe a college answer. That's maybe more of your, I don't know. It's he doesn't have Tom Brady. We'll put it that way for
Yeah.
sure.
And I know we're in the NIL era, but his players aren't getting paid what NFL guys are getting paid. So if you have a bad team, if you have a bad game, if you have a bad year in the NFL, you're not going to get a new contract. So again, a little bit, it's just such a different sport, NFL and college, so different. We see Nick Saban sucked in the NFL. People are
Yeah,
people are college coaches, people are NFL coaches. It's really hard to be both. I know Jimmy Harbaugh had good success in both. It's just few guys that have success because it's just such a different game.
Chip
Um,
Kelly struggled in the NFL,
right,
but
right.
genius in college.
It just seems so yeah, I just can't see the success. And again, I've been dead wrong all weekend. So take my information with a grain of salt and my predictions with a grain of salt. But I really think TCU just absolutely wipes the floor with them.
I do have to say, sorry, one last thing, but I kind of just made myself think about it. Let's also remember how not great Belichick's Patriots were once Brady went to Tampa. I mean, yeah, he's a legend in the NFL, but if he doesn't have Tom Brady, is he one of the greatest of all time? Like maybe not, probably not.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting. I their win total's at like 5.5 or 6.5. Like it's low for a reason. They're not going to come out and win, 10 games this year, make it to the playoff. It's going to be I think, kind of a long year for North Carolina.
Yeah, it's not like they're playing an inexperienced TCU team. I mean, like you said, this coach has been in the college football playoff. Their quarterback broke the school record last year. Defense reloaded, their offense reloaded. Like it's not like they're playing a freshman quarterback like Notre Dame threw out there or Texas or Ohio State threw out there. This is a very experienced TCU team, and like 80 new guys on North Carolina. I mean, I just can't see it. I can't see
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what. And again, some trusted guys I follow. I'm seeing some money coming in on North. I just don't know why. And the line has. I mean, the line has moved in TCU's favor regardless. They were. It's moved a little bit. I think they're 2.5 at one point. They're back up to 3.5. Again, people love seeing that hook. Maybe it's also the home dog mentality. There's a stat out there about the team at home getting points in week one, and it's a pretty successful stat. So maybe that's playing into it. I seriously just can't see a world. I would want to make this my most confident bet of the weekend, but like I said, I've been absolute dog shit. So I love TCU. Again, terrible week in betting. So hopefully we can end week one college football with a winner. Let's quickly, if you don't mind, let's quickly jump to NFL a little bit. I know we have games starting on Thursday. We have Chiefs and Chargers starting on Friday, and then the full slate starts on Sunday, and then finishing Monday night with Vikings Bears. But is there any NFL games? Again, this is my first time looking at the board. I've been way too excited for college. I am a college. I love colleges. I like it. I prefer it more than the NFL. I know that's kind of a hot take, but I absolutely just love college, probably because of the success of Michigan the last couple of years. Is there anything sticking out to you in NFL, or do you have any prediction on this Thursday or Friday game?
Well, I will say I have one play locked in. I did a solo breakdown video for that, and I probably won't talk about that one much more. Even like when we go live on Wednesday for our intentional lounging week one, I'm probably just gonna skip over that one. Um, so if you guys are interested, that's out on our page right now. It's just a solo breakdown. It's like 7 minutes long. So that's a play, the only play I've locked in. And it's a game that I feel really strongly about. Honestly, I probably feel more strongly about it now than I did when I locked it. So There's that on our page. But as far as Thursday, Friday go, I want the dogs in both. So I want the Cowboys plus 7.5. I want Chargers plus 3.5. I hate that the Chargers are in Brazil. I wish that was a true home game for them. But we talk about their home games aren't really, there's not a huge home field advantage. Um, Rashawn Slater's injury makes me nervous for that game. So I've not touched either game yet. Cowboys, I think Eagles are going to get hit pretty hard on Thursday by the public, especially now that Micah Parsons is gone. So I do think the value is going to be on Dallas, and I'll probably end up on Dallas or potentially the under. We're going to see. I don't know. I'm a little gun shy on the unders now with, I think I'm stuck on Belichick. Dan Campbell has kind of just, I think he's brought the fourth down mentality to almost every team, if not every single team. And, I think overs could kind of be the play until the NFL fully adjusts to kind of that new play style, because obviously if you're going for it on fourth down at the 50-yard line, that is a win-win for over bettors. Either get stopped and the team's going 50 yards, or they make it and you're going 50 yards. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be cautious on unders this year, I think. But, yeah, naturally just lean Cowboys, lean Chargers. I know divisional dogs are very good week one historically. Usually it's NFL or divisional home dogs, which technically Chargers are not a home team, so that doesn't necessarily play in. But, yeah, I do look for the Cowboys and the Chargers for Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, it's unfortunately got to be the Cowboys. Especially, Eagles Super Bowl champs, Cowboys without Micah Parsons. It's got to be the Cowboys. It's the ugliest bear on the board, but it's got to be the Cowboys. I love that Aaron Rodgers is playing his old team in the Jets. If you want to call his old team, he played 1 year there. But that's a funny scheduling spot. But yeah, I'm super excited for the NFL. Again, haven't completely dived in. But yeah, I'm Google-eyed at those Cowboys, and I'm not proud of it. But yeah, it's got to be
You think,
it's got to be the boys.
you think that's bad? I'm looking at the other divisional game there, and I'm looking at the Giants very, very tastefully.
Yeah, I mean,
Catching 6
yeah, I think
at
it's
Washington.
yeah. I'm down on Washington this year. I think people are going to figure them out. Before we get off here, is there any college football week two that you're eyeing? I honestly haven't even looked at the matchups, but I know Michigan plays Oklahoma. That is a ranked game. Oklahoma is now a 5.5 point favorite. What other ranked games do we got? Is there any? Um,
I don't believe there
Boston
is.
College, Michigan State, 3.5 point favorite for MSU.
Yep.
UCLA, UNLV, 2.5 point spread. Oh, and we get a sun. Oh, that's because it's at midnight. It's like we get a Sunday game, but no, that's Hawaii, Sam Houston. So I'll be, I'll have some money on that late Hawaii game. But yeah, we'll have more of a breakdown of college football as we approach week two. Again, I'm still kind of focused on tonight's game and the aftermath of a horrific week one. I feel like Hurricane Katrina over here in my household. Just been absolutely slaughtered. Ranked games week two.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Utah State plus 29.5 against Texas A&M. A&M off fairly easy win to UTSA. And they have Notre Dame on deck, team they lost to in week one last year at Notre Dame. It's a Saturday night NBC, not standalone game, but, the big game for that week. So Utah State catching damn near 4.5 touchdowns. Yeah, I'll be on Utah State more than likely.
A couple other ones that I just caught my eye. Iowa State, fantastic matchup. Iowa State is a home 3.5 point favorite. Duke and Illinois. Illinois is at Duke, and they're again number 12 in the country. No idea who came up with that one, but Illinois is just a too small 2.5 point favorite. So that one's definitely intriguing to me. And then, like I said, Michigan, Oklahoma, only ranked matchup. So we had a fantastic week one with 3 top 10 games. Again, horrific betting week. So maybe a week in week two of college football with a little less big games, maybe I could find some success. But yeah, those are the games I am. Oh, SMU Baylor will be a good game. SMU is a 3-point favorite there.
Yep.
Ooh,
Like Baylor.
God damn, do I like Baylor after
Yeah.
that loss? Terrible or big loss to Auburn week 1. Now they're at SMU. SMU's a small 3-point favorite. God, that one's good. That one's good. God,
Yeah.
why do we like the ugly stuff? I don't know. It's just damn. 20.
Also,
Go ahead.
overreaction week. So in the public eyes, Florida State spread cannot be high enough this week. They will bet that thing to the moon. So
Oof.
I don't even know who they play. I think it's some FCS. Yeah, I think it's like East Texas A&M or something like that. But
I think that's where Cade McNamara is at.
really,
Yeah.
really,
Or
okay.
he's at Eastern Tennessee State, ETSU. So not
Oh, okay.
ETAM. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
But yeah, I mean, dude, Florida State could be minus 55, and then public's still playing that.
Another interesting one with the big win in week 1 is South Florida beating Boise is traveling to Florida. However, Florida is still ranked and Florida is a 17.5-point favorite. But that one's not as pretty because people are in love with DJ Lagway of Florida. But you definitely are going to have some public, especially at that 17.5, saying we can get South Florida, who just knocked the doors off of Boise, who made the college football playoff last year. You can get them 17.5, but that one's not as juicy because, again, Florida, I do think is a pretty public team, and they are pretty highly ranked. Yeah.
They also, their next 4 games after that, LSU, Miami, Texas A&M.
Yeah. Not as great, but again, a little interesting game there with the big win for South Florida. But yeah, I mean, week 2 is going to be a little disappointing in regards to the matchups, but maybe like you said, overreaction week. Maybe we can find some sharp bets on the board there. But like I said, NFL starting on Thursday. We will have our NFL previews out. Make sure you check our page for that. And as always, we will have our college football top 5 matchup predictions. Hopefully, we're gonna have a bounce back week. I didn't check our records yet, but I know I was not good. I know we agreed on multiple games. So in the one game we didn't agree on, I took Bama. So there's another loss for me. But yeah, I can't wait for college football and NFL debut. Can't wait. Fantasy football. God, it's gonna be fun. Do you have anything to add here before we sign off? Again, I am on TCU heavy TCU. Could not win a bet to save my life this week. If I jumped off a building, I would miss the concrete somehow. So I'm all over TCU, but please take that with a grain of salt. I am so freaking cool as Simon Funny. Anything from you, Ethan, before we close out for the night?
Yeah, a few things. I'm also on TCU for the night. Also, I feel like it's the last game of the season. Like, I'm sad that we only have one game tonight, but it's all coming right back next week. So pumped for that. Also, you mentioned our NFL show. I think I already mentioned it, but we're doing it live this year. So come join us live. It will be on Wednesday night. If you miss us live, though, you can always catch the replay. So that will be out right when we're finished recording. So be sure to check that out. MLB still going strong. Went 3-0 on Daily Dingers on Friday, 1-0 so far today. I'll just give out the last 2 plays because they haven't gone yet. Seattle money line, Texas Rangers money line. Probably going to end up playing Texas on the money line tonight. That's an 8-10 start. So right there with the football game. Thought I had something else to say, but I don't remember it. So that will do it.
Yeah, playoff push for baseball. I know it's kind of hard to be betting baseball, but like I said, nothing until Thursday, which is, I am sad, but I do need an emotional recharge. I need to regain my act a little bit. So we'll be looking to baseball for Tuesday, Wednesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday definitely. So make sure you do check out Ethan's Daily Dingers posts every day over on our YouTube at Better and Green. But we appreciate you guys. Good luck tonight. Like I said, we're both on TCU. Take it with a very, very small grain of salt because we're cold. But TCU's a play. We appreciate you guys. And we'll see you on our Wednesday live for the NFL Week 1.